Okay, today we're going to look at Chapter 3, UCS Viewports and Wireframe Modeling. We're going to look at the use of UCS on more complex designs, how to display and orient 3D views, how to apply and expand the basic wireframe construction techniques, using additional tools to assist the creation of 3D wireframe models, and how to use name view options. So we're going to be looking at going into our 3D modeling workspace, which we're going to be in, and we're going to get the correct setup using our template that we created. Okay, we're going to look at using layers. Okay, we're going to look at using the view and the UCS toolbars. We're going to look at polar tracking. Going to show how we can use multiple viewports to simultaneously work on an object. Going to look at a really handy feature, which is the quick select option. I'm going to create a new UCS. I'm going to create a named view. Okay, so we're going to go into AutoCAD. So let's go there. I'm going to open up our template. So I'm going to go up here to open or new. And I'm going to make sure that I'm on use a template here. I'm going to browse to where my template is. Okay. And here it is. Templates. And we're going to use our inch template 3D. Okay, again, we are on the paper space. We're going to go to model space. I'm going to type in perspective, change that to 0. And I'm going to change my view to the southeast isometric view. Alright, we're going to start off, and we want to make sure that we are in the construction layer. So I need to turn the construction layer on, okay, because we turned it off. And I need to make the construction layer our current layer. Alright, we're going to create a rectangle, and I can start this rectangle anywhere I like. If you like starting at 0, 0, you can start there. Okay, and I'm just going to pick a spot anywhere. Okay, and I'm going to type in @ and this rectangle is what was this rectangle? This rectangle was somewhere I wrote down what it is. It is at 3,2. 3,2. Okay, there is our rectangle. We are going to now copy that rectangle up, okay, in the Z direction. Now in the book they have us use the absolute coordinates, but we don't have to do that. You can do that if you like. Okay, so I'm going to pick this object. I'm going to hit enter. It's going to pick a spot anywhere. Okay, now I'm going to be moving or copying in the Z direction. I'm going to put my F8 on so I go nice and straight. Okay, and I can go in the X or Y or the Z direction. I'm just going to point in the Z direction, and I'm going to go up 2.25 and hit enter. Okay, so now I have the beginnings of my box. I'm going to go on the lines. I'm going to create a line from all these endpoints to the corresponding endpoints. Okay, so I have that one, I have that one, and I have that one. Okay, again, we need to pay attention to our UCS, what UCS we're in. Here we have our view up here, okay, and down here we have what our UCS is. Okay, right now we are in the world coordinate system, which says that in this direction is the X, this direction is the Y, up and down is the Z. Okay, now we're going to work on the front view here, okay, by creating the profile there. So what I need to do is I need to change my coordinate system from world to front. Okay, now you'll notice that the X and Y direction have changed, and the Z as well, where now we have the X direction still going this way, we have the Y direction going this way, and the Z coming out this way. Alright, so since we are working in this plane right here, okay, which is our front view, we're going to create the profile. So I'm going to go up here to line, and I'm going to create a line. And what I'm going to use is I'm going to take and pick from, pick a line, go from this endpoint right here, okay, and then at 0, comma 0.75, okay, which again made it from this point 0 in the X direction and 0.7 in the Y direction. I'm going to take my F8 off, okay, because now what I want to do is I want to use my polar tracking. I want this line to come up here, okay, and it's going to be 30 degrees. So here I have my polar tracking. I'm going to go to my polar tracking, okay, and you'll see that I have different settings that I can use. Okay, and what that will do is when I go to draw now, you'll see that when I move this, I get a line, a dotted line, okay, and it's going to snap every 30 degrees, okay, or 60 degrees or 90 degrees or 45 degrees, whatever I want it to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to snap to here. Okay, now that is 30 degrees, okay, which is 120, okay, from the horizontal view. I'm going to click right to there. Okay, now I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to draw a line, okay, that's going to end. So I'm going to hit enter and hit enter, and I'm going to go from the endpoint here. Okay, now I'm going to go over this direction, okay, so that I have it going 90 degrees from that one, which is about, let's see, okay, if I take and make this perpendicular to from this one to that one, okay, and actually let's do it this way. Let's draw a line from here, okay, and then we can go right to here, which should be the right direction. That was at 210 degrees. Okay, and that should be our correct angle there. All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to copy these two in the Z direction. Okay, so I can take and I can pick copy. I can pick this line and that line, the two lines we just drew. I can hit enter, and I can pick a base point, and then I can use at, and I would go 0, 0, -2, or I can just say, okay, take right here as my base point, and this endpoint as my other point. Okay, so now we put it where I want it to. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this line that's going to be a cut right here. Okay, and to do that I need now to change my UCS to the top view. Okay, so I'm back where this is the X and this is the Y direction. Okay, I'm going to go to line. I'm going to pick from this endpoint here, and I'm going to go at 0 in the X direction, comma 0.75 in the Y direction. Okay, you'll see that it's over here. Now, the last time 0.75 in the Y direction was in this direction because our UCS was going in the opposite direction. Okay, so again, I want to make sure that I have my polar tracking on, and that it is set to 30. And now I can come over here. I can, if you move it just right, okay, you'll see that you get the arrow there, or the X there for the intersection, and I will click there, right click, and pick enter. So now I have that line right there. Okay, I'm going to copy that line up to this surface. So again, I'm going to go to copy, I'm going to pick this line, Okay, again, I can pick this line, this endpoint here to this endpoint here. Okay, and now I put that where I want it. All right, so now what I want to do is I have the lines that I need for the to make the basic profile here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up and I'm going to change my layer to object. Okay, and it will be a different color so we can see the difference. And I'm going to draw a line from this endpoint right here that we drew. I'm going to go straight up, okay, until I get the intersection of here. Now you have to be careful. It might be the same. Okay, it's trying to find the midpoint, so you make sure that you get the X there. So I want to there, and the intersection there. Okay, the endpoint there, or intersection, the endpoint there, and the endpoint there. And I'll pick enter. So now I have that basic outline there. Okay, I left the line out, so I'm going to go back into construction again. I'm going to draw a line, okay, where this and this meet, okay, because I'm going to need that for the next line. Okay, I'm going to go back into object. I'm going to draw a line from this intersection, okay, straight up, and that can be the perpendicular to that one, over to this endpoint there, or intersection. Okay, okay, I think midpoint's the right one, but if you're not sure, okay, I can pick endpoint, and that way I'm sure I have the right one. And then I'll finish this line going here to here. Okay, so now I have my basic views drawn here. Okay, what I'm going to go now is I'm going to work on this object. I'm going to look at all three sides and the isometric at the same time. So I'm going to go up to view, viewports, and I'm going to go to 4 viewports. Okay, so you'll see that even though it looks like I have 4 drawings here, it's just like I took a camera and took a picture of each 4 different views here. Okay, I'm going to click on the first one here, then I'm going to go up here. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to go up here to isometric, and I'm going to make this the top view. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to make this one the front view. Okay, I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to make this the right side view. Okay, so now I'm looking at all these together. Now I can take, and if I want, I go in each one and maybe zoom in and out real time. Okay, you can make them. They don't have to line up. Okay, so now here's my top view, my front view, or right view, and the isometric view. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the white lines over here in this view. You'll see I have this line, that line, that line, all this here, and that's the same on the other side. So I'm going to mirror it, okay, across the midpoint of these 2 lines. Now I could do it here, okay, but I'd need to use a 3D mirror. Okay, so I'm going to do it in the top view. Okay, so what I want to make sure is I'm in that one. I'm in the top. Okay, and now I just want to pick the object lines. I don't want to mirror any of the construction lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, before I pick anything, I'm just going to pick everything. Okay, so I picked every line there. Okay, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go down to quick select. Now what quick select does is allows us to filter out, okay, certain things, or filter in certain things depending on how you want to look at it. And I can do it by color, layer, line type scale, plot scale, line weight, transparency, and hyperlink. So I'm going to go by layer. Okay, so now you see I have an operator here. Now I want to keep the layer that is equal to. Now I can do equal to, not equal to. Okay, so I'm going to do equal to, and then if I hit the down arrow here, here are all my layers. Okay, so I want this to be object. Okay, I want that to include object in the new selection set. If I wanted to exclude that, if I want to filter those out, I would pick exclude. I don't have anything else, so I'm not going to append the current selection set. and I'm going to pick OK. Now you'll notice that what's been selected is only the lines that have been drawn on the object layer. Okay, I'm going to go up to Modify, and right here I have Mirror. Okay, now it's asking me for the first point because we've already pre-selected the entities that we wanted. And I'm going to go from the midpoint here. You can see that happening in all the views as I'm doing it. To the midpoint there. I do not want to delete the source. Okay, so now you'll see that I have a mirror image of that on the other side. Okay, I want to go here and I want to take off the construction layer. Okay, so you will see that I have this here. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to click on this one. Okay, it really doesn't matter which one I pick, and I'm going to go up to View again and Viewports. I'm going to make this one viewport. Okay, I'm going to change my view to the Southeast Isometric View. Okay, and we're also back in the top UCS. Okay, what I'm going to do is connect these lines. Okay, so I'm just going to go through here and connect all the lines that I need. Okay, so now we have the basic outline of our V block. Okay, what we need to do right now though is we need to create the little V cut that's going to be in there. Now I can't put that V cut anywhere. Okay, now only options I have is I can put it on the top, okay, which is in this view, and I don't want it on the top, the bottom, the left, right, front, and back. Okay, so I need to create a new viewport that's going to be on this angle, because that V is going to be on this angle of this face right here. If we were doing solids, I could pick this whole face, but we don't have solids here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick 3 points. I can go up here and you'll see a little 3 up here. That's the easiest place to find it. Or I go to here to View. Okay, and I can go to, Tools, and I can go to New UCS. Okay, and if you notice there are World, Previous Face, Object, these are all the same icons that are up here. And I want 3 points. Okay, so now you'll see that my UCS is moving around. Okay, and actually I clicked on there and I shouldn't, so I'm going to pick 3 again. And I want the origin to be this endpoint right here. Okay, notice if I move it around, it's asking me now for the x-axis, so where it's going to be. Okay, I want the x-axis to be along this point right here. Okay, now you notice that the x is steady, and now I need the y. I'm going to pick right up here. Okay, and I want to pick the end point there. Perpendicular will work, but I want to go to end point just so I have the right one. Now you'll notice that my grid has changed. Okay, now if I'm drawing on the same angle that I created this UCS at. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some name views. Okay, what I'm going to do excuse me, is I'm going to go and I'm going to create a name view. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to View. Okay, I'm going to go to 3D Objects. 3D Views. Okay, I'm going to go to Plan View. Now what the Plan View is, the top of anything. I'm looking down on it. Okay, I want this to be the plan view of my grid here, which is my current UCS. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and you'll see that it flipped it around. Okay, I'm looking flat down on that angle. Okay, I'm not looking at the right side view. Okay, that would be different. Okay, I'm looking right on that angle. That angle right here is this flat portion here. So I'm going to go up to View, and I'm going to name this view so that I can use it again if I need. Okay, so I went to Name View, and I'm going to pick New, and I'm going to name a view, and I'm going to call it maybe Auxiliary or Aux or something like that. I'm going to pick OK, and I'm going to pick OK. Alright, now I can use this view anytime I want. Okay, so let's say I'm back here in Southeast Isometric. I'm looking at this surface here and I need to go back to that view. I can just go up to here, go down to Aux, and there is my auxiliary view. Okay, so we can use that over and over again. Alright, now we need to put that V cut in here, and again we're going to be on this UCS so that we're flat on here. Okay, alright, so I'm going to make a line. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to go from this endpoint right here, and I'm going to go at 0.2, 0. Okay, which brings me right there. Now what I want to do is that line is going to be on a 45-degree angle. Okay, so if I want to, I could just drag it up here and then go to 45, or I can go over here to my polar tracking and set that to 45 now. Okay, so there's my 45-degree angle. Okay, I'll make it longer than I need. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Go back in the line from here at this time negative 0.2, 0, which brings me to there, and then I'll put my 45-degree here, which is 135 in this direction. Okay, and I will trim this one away. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this back to this surface here. I'm going to go to Copy, this one, and that one. I'll go from this endpoint here to this endpoint here, or intersection. Alright, now all I need to do is complete those lines and trim some away. I'll go from there to there, from there to there, and from here to here. Okay, I'll go up to Trim, trim this guy away, trim that guy away. Okay, so here's our V cut here. Now I'm just going to go to the front view, and if you notice, my V cut, since I moved to this one, doesn't go all the way through. Okay, so what I want to do is I need to extend that bottom portion here. Okay, so I'm going to go to Stretch, and I'm going to use a crossing window so I get both of these lines. I'm going to hit Enter, and I'm going to go from this endpoint, okay, perpendicular to there. Okay, now if I go and look at my Southeast Isometric view, okay, now you'll see that that V goes all the way, again looking at the front. Okay, the V is going completely through the object. Okay, back to Southeast. Now again, if I were putting this on a piece of paper, okay, I'll go to Layout, okay, and say I wanted it on an A size. Go to Layout up here, go to Rectangular, cut my hole in my paper. There's my object. I'll double click to go back in the model space. Okay, looks like this is 1.8. I wonder how 2 to 1 would look. Okay, I don't know if that's going to fit. I'll try panning up a little bit. It looks like it just might make it. Okay, so that will fit right there. I'm going to take off my grid, go back in the paper space. Right click on here, display locked, yes, I locked the display. Okay, then I would finish my title. You know, my name's already on it, the date, material, the scale is 2 to 1. Alright, now notice again, this is a wireframe. Don't trim these lines off here. Okay, This is like made out of a piece of wire. All right, so that takes care of chapter 3.